Shalom Israel, shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts. Add another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. A hearty shalom to you, mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, and doing all things for the elect's sake, pushing this truth and magnifying the ministry. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to everybody on the live stream tuning in, divinely fashioned, Yah Son, FX2T1, Ibad Shah Yahweh, Aquath Yasha'Allah, So Zion, Aliyasha, the brother, mighty brother from the WFI Detroit, Donnie Stone, shalom, shalom. Right, we back at it again, various topics, breakdowns, and live streams. I wanted to go into Revelation 18 chapter, then the Spirit wanted me to go to the book of Matthew chapter 25, so I couldn't really sit there and determine what chapter to go into, so we're just going to move in the Spirit. Like the Lord said in the book of John, the 3rd chapter. All right, let's get this precept in John chapter 3 about men that are born after the Spirit. And you got Shalom, Thahawam, the Jew 777, Kamari Wilson, everybody I didn't salute. This is the book of John chapter 3 and verse 6. That which is, this John 3 and 6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I said unto you, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit. Just like you can't determine the dynamics of the wind, right? You can only feel that breeze or understand a wind speed, but how that wind is blowing and its path and its goal and where the Most High set it to go, you can't trace that as a mortal man, right? So is everyone that is born after the Spirit, right? So we're going to apply that and move in the Spirit, and we're going to go to the book of Matthew chapter 25. All right, so the Spirit wants us to go into Matthew, the 25th chapter, and go into this. Now, a lot of these breakdowns and understanding, we've had them on a previous Cold Cut channel, but we all know that Cold Cut, or if you didn't know, that previous Cold Cut channel has been taken down, right? We built it up again, then they took it down again. So a lot of this understanding and the precepts we're going into, we're going to just kind of revamp it and go back over these things again so brothers can have this knowledge, this understanding, and it'll become fundamental. Right, the more we go over. So this is the book of Matthew chapter 25 and 1. Right, Matthew chapter. Now this whole chapter is mean. This whole chapter is a list of various parables via Yahushua himself, pertaining to Israelites walking the truth, pertaining to loving your brother, pertaining to doing the work. So we're going to kick from Matthew 25 and 1, one of my favorite parables. It reads, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom." So the Lord likens the kingdom of heaven to 10 virgins. Now, these 10 virgins is not talking about actual virgins that never had sex with men. Remember, the word virgin is equated with somebody that's unspotted, somebody that's not tainted, they're not defiled, they're not polluted, and they're not corrupted by any device or any philosophy. It can be the world, it can be a doctrine. So the Lord likens his servants unto virgins due to their purity. Let's get that in Song of Solomon, the 1st chapter. Right? But a lot of brothers, they'll read those parables and they'll actually look at that word virgin and their mind to shift to a carnal mind frame and they'll make it literal. And they'll think these are actually the virgins. What would be significant about literally 10 virgins? It's a parable. A parable is an illustrated story to symbolize real life events playing out on the earth, rather prophetic or historic, right? This is the book of Song of Solomon to go into this word virgin. To let you know what this word is going into, you have to go through the precepts. This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 1. I'll start from the top. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name, it's like thy name is as ointment poured forth Therefore do the virgins love thee. So thy name, meaning this knowledge, this understanding. The Most High's name is Yahweh. His son name is Yahweh Shai. But the word name doesn't always actually mean a physical name. His name is what the Most High stands for, right? Equity, uprightness, integrity, order. You understand? So the name of the Lord, it says ointment poured forth, and it says, therefore do the virgins love thee. So the virgins are the elect. You have an elect amount of men that have been predestinated to be unspotted and uncorrupted by the ways of the world. And they love the Lord due to his name, like ointment poured forth. Right? Like any woman loves a man, rather this ointment is for smell or whatever. Any woman loves a man that has that masculine smell. And you're naturally attracted to it. It happens all the time, right? You might have some oil on, you might walk past, a woman might kind of turn around, try to figure out what's going on. You know, they're attracted to that smell. So just like the elect are naturally attracted to this word when it passes by them, rather they're walking on the highways and byways, or rather they looking on the internet and they damn click a video and they're gravitated to this word. Like pheromones, like animals have pheromones, or even men and women, they emit these so-called signals, right, from the hormonal system, and that allures and attracts people of the opposite sex to you, chiefly during specific times of the year, right, like mating season and stuff like that. They'll emit these hormones, so these females or these men can be allured and attracted to them, right? So the Lord moves like that on a spiritual level. In these last days, the Lord is emitting his smell, this ointment, so the virgins can be attracted to the Lord. Right? Let's get that in the book of Revelation chapter 14, dealing with the word virgins. Right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 14. This is the book of Revelation, like the brother went into. The Lord's sheep hear his voice. That's right. John chapter 10 and 26. My sheep hear my voice. You know, and it says a strangers they will not hear. And that's all set up. The brother went into predestination. That's all set up from the foundation of the world. Right? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse. I'm going to get straight to the point. Revelation chapter 14 and 4. This is dealing with the 144,000, 12,000 men from each tribe sealed. Right? So this is the book of Revelation 14 and 4. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Now the point I wanted, it says, these are they which were not defiled with women. And there are men on the earth to this day who have yet to be defiled by women. I know it's not talking about a brother who never dealt with a woman on an intimate level. When it says a man not defiled by woman, it's talking about a man that's still a virgin, a spiritual virgin. He has yet to be tainted and polluted by the world. The 144,000 are in a league of their own. To the most, where the Most High has their pureness on a level that's not like the rest of the children of Israel, who still are struggling with certain things on a high level and battling, certain spirits. These 144,000, they're in the flesh, they have a corruptible body, but in the eyes of the Lord, they're pure. Their spirits are pure, and that's what this thing is about. The Most High is not looking for the man that's perfected on a carnal level, who's 7'7". He bench pressed 777 pounds. He wears a size 7 shoe. His beard is 7 feet long. He got 7 Bibles. And he got 7 Hebrew names. That don't make you righteous, man. You know? The Lord, he want the brother whose spirit is pure. These virgins, they may have a damn hunchback, you know? These virgins in Matthew 25, they may have a damn flat nose, right? A pigeon-toed club foot, and many deformities, but it's not about the deformities of the flesh. It's about the purity of the spirit. And that's what makes these men virgins. Right, let's get another precept. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and 23. Right, let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 23. It reads, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn. Right, it says to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven. Right? And to the spirits, check this out, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. So you have the spirits of just men that the Most High is looking for. Right? And these are the men who say, no, I'm not celebrating birthdays. No, I'm not celebrating Christianity. No, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I will keep myself unspotted and pure, like a physical virgin would. You know, like when you was in the world, you might have been that sister or that woman. She don't go to the parties, right? She don't go to the homecoming dance. If she goes, she might leave early. You know, she's not hanging around all of the other sisters. She hold her books like this. She kind of do this with her glasses. You know, she might have been a kind of nerd in the school, but she keeps herself unspotted for the world. She's not in the parties getting drunk. She's not getting damn groped on by young men. She keeps herself unspotted. She's in her books and her studies. Right? And everybody knows that one. She stands out. And she's often ridiculed by everybody else in the school. You know? There's nothing wrong with being a spiritual virgin in this thing. We're pure and we're upright if we're part of that number. Right? Let's get another precept on that. Let's go to James chapter 1. All right, let's go to the book of James chapter 1 and verse 27. Right, this is the book of James chapter 1 and 27. It reads, pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and a Father is this, to visit the fatherless. So this is how man's nature should be, right, when it comes to serving the Most High. Right, it says, pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and a Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Because this world would definitely spot your garment up, man. It'll defile you. If you hang out in the world, pride is going to cleave to you. Envy is going to cleave to you. Damn fornication might cleave to you. Lust of the flesh, all types of damn spiritual demons will put spots all in your garment, and you'll lose your virginity in this thing. And the Lord, like any ancient man, I'm gonna keep it biblical. Any ancient man, I don't know about men in modern day times, but ancient men, their wives were expected to be virgins. And if their wife wasn't a virgin, guess what? And if she lied about it, it was lights out. She was stoned. And nobody really cared because she lied about that. He was expected to keep yourself pure for your husband. Women nowadays, you might have a woman, she might have dealt with everybody, man. Woman, she dealt with everybody on the block. You walking with your woman down the block, everybody pointing and laughing at you because they didn't have their share. She laughed, she got damn. And that puts spirits on a woman too. A woman deal with a whole bunch of dudes. That puts spirits on them. The spirit that's on that man, that's emitting through him, is going to hop on her. And she got all these guys. And if she not fasting constantly, and them spirits and them old dudes to come back, man. And then hop on her, and she's not a virgin. She's defiled. She got spirits on her from these other guys. You understand? She's in the streets. But, that's what men deal with now. Back in the ancient world, your wife was expected to be a virgin. Right? Let me get that in Genesis chapter 24. And this is all because we're going into Matthew chapter 25. Right? And if, like I said, if you say that now, people kind of look at you funny. They'll call you lame. If you a woman now and let's say you like 19, 16, 17, whatever, and you say that you a virgin, hey, your classmates, they might mock you. They did that when I was in school. You might have a sister, she might say, look, I don't do that. And the other girl, hey, they'll mock you. And they'll kind of get on you and make you feel bad that you have kept yourself pure. They'll call you lame, a square damn weirdo. They'll put pressure on you, But in the ancient world, that was highly prized. and highly praised. Right? Let me get that in Genesis chapter 24. And that's how the elect are in the eyes of the Lord. Not on a physical level, but on a spiritual level. Right? Let's get that in Genesis chapter 24 and verse 16. Right? That's the book of Genesis chapter 24 and 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to her well, it's like it to the well, and filled a pitcher and came up. See that? See that? Tamika, humble meek, said, my daughter gets mocked by her friends for saying she wants to wait till marriage. She's 16. You see that? You see that right now? But back in the ancient world, guess what? When I say the ancient world, I'm not talking about the 1980s. I'm talking about during the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our fathers, all the way up to the time of our Lord, Yahweh Shah. That's what I mean when I say ancient world. A lot of brothers think I'm talking about the 70s. No, I'm talking about well over 2,000 years ago. You know? The Lord, when he described Rebecca, one of the traits that the Most High included was that she was a virgin, neither had any man known her. And that's a rarity nowadays. Because now you got women, they got these songs. I'm not going to get too off topic. They got damn songs glorifying their damn secret parts, man. Or how many men they could deal with. You know? How many rods they could be around. This is what they dealing with now. So this society got to go, man. And Jake, you never correct that stuff. You know? You damn entertaining that, man. So the Lord wants a virgin, an elect lady, a bride. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. All right, this is the book. Then we'll go back to Matthew chapter 25, dealing with this word virgin. Slakia, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. And I actually want to get this in the law to show the severity of the woman's virginity. And Matthew, Slakia, in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 22. Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 13. Check this out. It reads, if a man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. And that might happen. You might deal in the ancient world. You might have dealt with a woman and, you know, back in the ancient world, you had to pay for your wife. You could just, you know, walk up to the movie theaters and, you know, and run game and get a number and then be down, like I used the example, Darius Love Hall from Love Jones. Then you damn kissing all on her the first night. Then you go upstairs talking about I want to talk. No, back in the ancient world, you had to talk to the father to get a wife. And you had to pay the father a bride price. Whatever the father, read the book of 1 Samuel. Saul wanted 100 foreskins of the Philistines. That was the bride price or the dowry back then. Right? Jacob, he had to work 7 years for the daughter of Laban, which was Rachel. So back in the ancient world, you had to pay a bride price for your wife. Completely different than the way things are ran now. So back in those days, a man might have said, look, I paid for this wife, you know, a bride price. I talked to the father. The father told me she was a virgin. You know, I laid down with her. I found out she wasn't a virgin. And you got a right to be mad. You can be upset. Like you want to buy a car and they say, look, nobody has sat in this car before. It's perfectly clean. It's a new car, fresh off the lot, no mileage on it. Now, if you get that car and you start the engine and the odometer say 200,000 miles, you're going to be mad. And you're going to kind of turn that car in. And so you sold this car to me and you made me pay for a new car when the price really wasn't for a new car. Now, the guy can be mad. The guy can be like, look, no, you paid for it. It is what it is. But then you can kind of get money out of that guy. Right? So let's read on. This is the same situation. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city and the gate. So the tokens of the virginity are the sheets on which the woman had sex on, where her hymen broke and the blood came out on the sheets. Right? It is what it is. Everybody knows about that. Right? Which signs the contract of that marriage being consummated, the blood. So the parents would hold on to those sheets and keep them wherever they kept them in the event that a man might say, look, my wife wasn't a virgin when I got her. I need my money back. These parents, they have the right to say, no, you're lying, because this is the token of the virginity. When y'all laid down together, this is her blood. But it's a serious matter. There's a whole law to that deals with keeping a woman's name blameless concerning her virginity. Right, let's read on. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 20. It's like in Deuteronomy 22, and I'll read 15 again. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city and the gate. Now, this is a big deal. You know, people, everybody knows about this. The word is going out. You know, Israel likes to talk. You have this one woman who's being accused of not being a virgin and lying, and you get bringing an ill and evil name upon the father and his household. So this is a big deal going on, if this was to happen. Deuteronomy 22 and 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. That's plain. So this guy, he might say, hey, look, you gave me this woman. She wasn't a virgin. The father say, no, you're lying. Her blood is on the sheet. Everybody look. This guy lied. Right? And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. So now they're going to get on this man. Say, why'd you lie and say this woman wasn't a virgin when her blood is on the sheets? They might kind of slap him around a little bit. Might kind of kick him in the back. Might slap him in the back of the head. You know? Might make him a public example. Why? Because he's bringing an ill name. He don't want to deal with his woman. Right? So the elders, they're going to chastise him. Right? Let's read on. Like the sister brought out, bearing false witness. You know? It reads, verse 19, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife, so like he may not put her away all his days. So not only is he getting chastised, you also got to pay. Now you can say, well, why he got to pay? He shouldn't have to do that. Hey, look, he got to deal with it. You can even sue people today for and I'm trying to think of the legal term. What is the legal term? When you slander somebody's name, right? Brothers that's more into the legal world, you know what I'm talking about, right? When you slander somebody's name, there's a term I'm looking for, but you can actually take somebody to court for that. They may not have physically harmed you, but they're trying to bring an ill name upon you, right? And you got a right to take them to court and kind of get money out of them. There it is, the water. See that? Defamation of character. That's a real thing, man. That's not something that, this is the ancient world. This is the ancient version. That's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Of character. Now, when you look it up, it says defamation of character occurs when someone makes a false and harmful statement about you. You see that? A libel is a defamatory statement made in writing or posted online, while slander is spoken defamation. So it's the Bible calls it slander, but Esau, his legal term is defamation of character, and that's exactly why this guy has to pay 100 shekels of silver. He got coughed up the dough, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 19. He got to pay this father 100 shekels of silver, because you got to think about it. you know, at this situation, this guy already has a bad name. People are looking at this guy funny, and a lot of Jake, you believe anything. So they might actually believe, hey, look, a word is going out that so and so, let's say brother Azariah, his daughter wasn't a virgin, and everybody's talking about it. And when this guy comes around, people kind of separate from him. He's not invited to the feast days like that, to a local, local feast that a relative may have. Right? People kind of, when he come around, people kind of leave. So he has to bear that, man. And nobody wants to deal with that. He has to be compensated for that. You brought an evil name upon his daughter and his household. He needs to be paid for that, man. And everybody's going to know about it. And it'll kind of get that man his name back. Right? Real quick, let's go to Sirach chapter 19. Right? This Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 15. I'll start at 14. Sirach chapter 19 and 14 in the Apocrypha. Admonish thy friend, it may be he hath not said it, and if he hath, that he speak it not again. Admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander. Look here. And believe not every tale. So admonish a friend, because sometimes it's slander. Somebody might say something against you to slander your name, meaning bear false witness against something that you have done. And that's what's going on in Deuteronomy chapter 22. So this man get chastised, and the second part of his punishment, he got to pay a hefty price. He got to pay 100 shekels of silver. That's not cheap. That's a good amount of money, you know? In modern day times, that's well over $1,000, well over almost 1,500. And last time I checked, I don't have just 1,500 just laying around to give somebody. So that's kind of a lot of money back then when you do the math. It may not be exactly 1,500, but it's a good amount. It's well over $1,000. So let's read on. Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 20. I'll read 19 again. And they shall amerce him and in 100 shekels of silver. Now he could say, no, I don't want to pay this guy. Look, I'm not paying that father. They're going to get that money from that guy. Right? They're going to get that money. And that father, he's going to get paid. All right? It reads, and they shall amerce him in 100 shekels of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. And he can't put her away. Now, back in these days, you can put away your wife when you read. I'm not going to read the whole account, but in Deuteronomy chapter 24, you can put away your wife for any cause. Now you can't, now he's stuck with his wife, and their whole marriage is in shambles. So let's read on. Verse 20. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of the virginity be not found for the damsel. So let's say this thing is true. Let's say on one hand, the man lay down with this woman, and it was told him that she was a virgin, but he found out that she wasn't a virgin, and it's true. And he paid money for this. Like I said, you buy a car and you get a new car. Let's say you get a 2021 damn whatever. And the damn dealer tell you it's a new car, 0 mileage, fresh brakes, nobody sat in the seat. You get in the car, and I say you turn on the damn odometer, it's 200,000 miles, the seat all ripped up. This after you paid the money. You paid cash. Right? And the guy said no refunds. You paid cash, and you get in the car, he didn't let you test drive it, so you didn't have the opportunity to see. You get a car, you're going to be mad as hell. You're going to be heated because you didn't lost your money paying for something that you never really got. So these men, they might have talked to the father and said, look, here's 50 shekels. Look for your daughter. She's expected to be a virgin. Now, if he finds out she's not a virgin, there's a consequence if this thing is true. Right? Let's read on. Verse Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 20. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel. So let's say he says she's not a virgin, and the parents say you're lying, I'll go get the sheets. but they never find the sheets because they don't exist. Right? Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. You see that? See that right there? So she got to get put to death because she lied. Now, you can say that's mean. How come, he just don't forgive her? Hey, that's the law. So the virginity is important, man. Now, Jake, you deal with a woman. You don't even have to deal with that. You deal with a woman. There might be a damn man, man. In this society. You got these Jakes that be dealing with these women, and they found out they boys. And they be killing themselves. They be killing these trannies. So this is a filthy society. And they're not going to incorporate the law. And when they kill them people, them trannies, hey, they be sending them damn 35 years in prison, man. Because the tranny lied to him. And they kind of got mad and killed the tranny. Now in the law, they may have been justified. They may have been justified for that. You dealing with a woman, you find out it's a damn man. And a lot of them guys, they lose their mind. They can't take that. They go grab the damn 32 or whatever they got, a baseball bat, and they go to work and they kind of kill them men. And then Esau come in. Why'd you do that? Right? Why you shouldn't have did that? That's mean. Well, back in the ancient world, even if your woman wasn't a virgin, hey, it was lights out. They were stoner. How much more a damn tranny and a freak? So this society's corrupt. And it's filthy and wicked. And vile. Like the Lord said in Psalms chapter 12. Right, let's get this precept real quick. Right, I believe that's Psalms chapter 12 and 8. So this is a filthy kingdom, man. Like the brother said, that's judgment. That's judgment on a man for being lustful. And a lot of these Jakes, they be knowing. So that's judgment on that Jake, and that's judgment on that tranny. Right? So this is the book of Psalms chapter 12. Right? So that virginity is important, man. That's why we go into that in Matthew chapter 25. 5 of these virgins were wise, and the 5 of them were foolish. Right? So this Psalms chapter 12 and verse 8. Now let's get this. This is the book of Psalms chapter 12 and 8. It reads, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men, when the vilest men are exalted. Right, let's read that again. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Who's the vilest man? Esau, the so-called white man. When he's exalted, when he's put in the power seat, when the Most High establishes his rulership in his kingdom, no doubt you're going to have wicked men walking on every side. Because the Lord said in Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 1 on down, as the judges, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein, paraphrasing. So if the ruler of the kingdom is wicked, you best believe the officers and the judges are going to be wicked, and the inhabitants of that respective city. So this kingdom is defiled. So they would actually stone that woman with stones and she'll die. And there was no mercy. The father could say, no, don't do it. Look, she didn't mean to. She slipped up, just give her another chance. There was none of that back then. It was lights out. So that's why the Lord uses this word virgin in Matthew chapter 25 to compare the purity of these men concerning this parable. All right, so let's go back to Matthew chapter 25. Actually, I wanted to get one more precept dealing with this virginity. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Right? And now you got fathers encouraging their daughters to lose their virginity. You got fathers like Dwayne Wade, who's making his son a daughter. You got fathers telling their daughter, hey, look, you still a virgin? You know what I'm saying? You need to go out there and be like your auntie and be like your other sister. That's wicked, man. Evil. You got damn wicked stepfathers You might have a mother. She might have the damn real father might be in jail. He might be dead. He might just be in the street somewhere being a nigga. She might deal with another dude, the damn stepfather, you know? And he kind of damn pimping out the mother and the damn daughter and making them wicked, man. He might be sneaking in the damn room late at night. Back then, the fathers used to care over the daughters. Now you got fathers damn doing stuff to their daughters and stepfathers doing stuff to their daughters. Then these daughters grow up and they dykes, they're homosexuals. They mind all bugged out. They got molested. Their brains all scrambled up. You know? And that Jake, he could damn get away with it, man. And then she go tell the mother, and the mother say, no, don't worry about it. Right? You're a lion. She kind of tell her, hey, so-and-so did know you're lying. Because you kind of got him paying the bills and the rent, man. And she don't want to lose that. So everything is backwards in this society. Nobody's dealing with the tokens of virginity. Nobody's worried about these being pure and upright. The society's filthy, man. You know? Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 42. That's right, like the brother said, Demetrius Terry, that's how some of our daughters are messed up. Wicked stepfathers, wicked jakes, nasty uncles. And the Lord tell the father, have a care over your daughter's body. Let me get that real quick. All right, let me get that in Sirach chapter 7. I believe that's Sirach chapter 7 and verse 24. Right, this is Sirach chapter 7 and 24. That's why the scriptures are so important. They have to be implemented to get our nation back in order, man, to get these households back in order. Because the household is corrupt. The average household of Jake, it's just defiled, man. It's probably damn blunt rappers. I would like to go to damn 10 households in every inner city in Babylon the Great for every tribe and see what the hell is going on. Right? But let me get this real quick. This Sirach 7 and 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. See that? So if you have daughters, have a care over their body. Now you got fathers telling their daughter, get that abortion. You're not ready for a child. Yelling at her. What have you done? You're pregnant at 19? Get out. Get an abortion or get out. Right? And then when a son, a damn homosexual, well, that's my son, right? I'm always love my boy. Then you damn told your daughter, you get out, she's 19 because she got pregnant. Go get an abortion. So a lot of these jakes are corrupt, man. And these be these same jakes on the highways and byways trying to teach you, act like they know something. So the Lord said, if you have daughters, have a care over their body, man. Many of your daughters should be a modest apparel. Right? That's right. Like this Salah Judah said, mothers twerking with their daughters. Hey, man, I wanted to, man, that's the spirit. Right? I got to see if I can find that video. Man, there's this video. Man, I wanted to do a cold cut on it a few weeks ago. No, this was a few days ago. I'll have to find it again. But there's this a video. I'm going to just pull it up. Let's see. Bear with me. And I'm going to see if I can find it. All right, here it is. Now, check this out. This is madness.
6 years old, and we live in Jacksonville, Alabama. We do everything together. Yeah.
Hold on. Now, what I'm about to show you, you know, it kind of it's part of the curses. I'll put it like that. The curses are in full effect. I don't know how else to tell you, but I'm about to show you a mother and a daughter and show you why this kingdom got to go. This place is filthy. Now check this out. This ruined my day when I saw this, man. This is madness. Now, it's going to be some stuff in there you're going to hear. You're not going to like it. You're going to get mad. You're going to say, well, why would you put that out there? Hey, look, it's part of the curses.
I'm Rakia. I'm 26 years old, and we live in Jacksonville, Alabama. We do everything together. Yeah. I mean, everything. Watch a movie together, cook together, twerk. Go crazy. Show up.
Now you see that? Hold on.
I'm Rakia.
Now they said they twerk together. That's a mother and a daughter, man. We do everything together. We watch movies together. We do so-and-so together. We twerk together. So guess what? They're going to be destroyed. They're not going to make it. You know? The Lord said, hast thou daughters have a care over their body. The Lord also said in the book of Ezekiel, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 16. Right, let's get this precept real quick. This is madness, man. Right? But Jake, you know, you and your simplicity, the black woman is God. Right? That's what Jake, you believe. Right? This Ezekiel chapter 16 and 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. So the same way the mother is, that's how the daughter's going to be. If the mother's virtuous and the mother's righteous, then the daughter's going to look at that example and see how the mother conducts herself when she's talking to her husband, when she's dealing with her son and her other children, and the daughter's going to have that example and learn from that. Now, if the mother's sitting there twerking and doing all types of folly and vanity, then the daughter's going to learn from that. Now, when I first watched it, I couldn't watch the whole thing straight. I had to leave the damn video because it was kind of vexing. But I'm gonna play the whole clip and then I'll kind of bring out a few precepts. And I may go back to Matthew chapter 25.
I'm Rakia. I'm 26 years old, and we live in Jacksonville, Alabama. We do everything together. Yeah. I mean, everything. Watch a movie together, cook together, twerk. Go crazy. Show up.
Salaki, bear with me.
I can imagine my life without my mom being in it. It would ruin me. I wouldn't know what to do, how to function. I've had people say that we're too close. Right, you got to spread it open a little. My mother and I have been waxing each other for quite some time now. I showed her my first sex tape about 2 years ago. I showed her my first sex tape maybe a year ago. What kind of positions do you think I should do, or what do you think we should do? And she was just like, oh, girl, prop your leg up in this angle. Maybe your back should have been a little bit more arched in this position. You have your significant others. Yes, and he was like, you guys are sick. This is my daughter. So look, I understand.
See that? You see that right there? All right, you see that? So let's go back to Matthew chapter 25. Actually, I want to go to Sirach chapter 42. You see that? Right? This is the book of Sirach chapter 42 and verse 9. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and 9. It reads, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, yet she pass away the flower of her age. Lest being married, being married, lest she should be hated. And her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. And having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, lest she should be barren. You see that? So the father has to ensure and protect the daughter in these last days. Right? Now I want to go back to Matthew chapter 25. Right? Let's go back to the parable in Matthew chapter 25. Right? So this Matthew chapter 25 and 1. It reads, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Now the number 10 isn't literally 10. That number 10, when it says 10 virgins, just means a whole amount, a great amount. That's what the number 10 represents on a spiritual level, right? Let's get that in Job chapter 19. Let's prove that number 10 is not literal when you're going through that parable. All right, this is Job chapter 19 and 3. It reads, these 10 times have ye reproached me, ye are not ashamed that ye make yourself strange to me. So the number 10 again is being used as a number that means an indefinite amount. It's equivalent to a brother saying, I haven't seen you in a minute. Right? It's not that it's literally 60 seconds, but it just represents a long time. So the number 10 just means an indefinite amount, because Job said, look, you vexing me about 10 times. And he wasn't literally counting the 10. Again, it just means an indefinite whole amount. Let's get another precept for that number 10. Right? Everything matters in the scriptures. The numbers matter. You understand certain words being used matter. Locations matter. Everything matters. All right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 1. Right? It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 7. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 1 and 7. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? See that her husband said, am I not better than thee than 10 sons? Right? Because again, that number 10 is not literal. So when you have 10 virgins, don't expect it to be literally 10 virgins. It just means a great amount of brothers who have the knowledge of the Most High. All right, let's get that. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 25. All right, let's go back to Matthew, the 25th chapter. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 2. So we have 10 virgins who went forth to meet the bridegroom, and they had their lamps. Now the lamp is used to navigate in this dark, perverse society. Right? That's what the Lord said in Psalms chapter 119 and 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. Right? Let's get that in Psalms chapter 119 and 105 to show you why these virgins actually have lamps. Right? It's used to navigate their path and its truth. This Psalms chapter 119 and 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Where is your path? Your path is walking with Yahweh while Yahweh Shah, taking your steps in His truth. You understand? Dodging the fire and the water, dodging these ditches and these obstacles and philosophies. And the only way you're able to navigate and see where you're going is through the law to show you what's right and what's wrong, how to be obedient, how not to be obedient. So these virgins have this lamp, and we all have this lamp to this day. If you're in this knowledge and you're keeping the commandments, you still have the same lamp. And this is how you're able to see the lies and the loopholes of this dark, wicked world, because you have the knowledge of the Most High. Right? That's why in Job 29 and 2, let's read this real quick and get a quick precept on that. And people and brothers and sisters are putting good precepts. Proverbs 6 and 23, for the commandment is a lamp and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Right? This is Job 29 and 3. It reads 29 and 2. It reads, oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when the Most High preserved me, when His candle shined upon my head, and when by His light I walked through darkness. So we want the days where the Most High candle is shining upon our head. We know that's not a literal candle. It's all a parabolic talk of what? Walking in the understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments. Walking with the knowledge of the Most High. And the days where the Most High preserved us. And the days before we fell. When we were gods. When we ruled the earth. When we could live damn near 1,000 years with the Most High. Right? Enoch had the candle shining upon his head. Noah lived in the days where the candle shined upon his head. We want to go in those days where the Most High preserved us, like He preserved Noah on the ark, like He preserved the spirit of Enoch and beamed them up in the chariots. That's what Job is saying. Oh, that I was in the days and time past when the Most High had me being guided by the light and the knowledge of the Most High. Right? Through the Spirit. Let's go to Psalms 18 and 28. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 28. It reads, for thou will light my candle, the Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. And the Most High is lighting our candle every day. He's bringing us to the knowledge of the Most High. And when you come into this thing, the Most High enlarges your light. You'll have more understanding of the prophecies, more understanding of the parables, how to really love your brother, more understanding of the law. And that's the Lord enlightening your candle more and more and more. That's the same thing. Your candle and your lamp are one and the same. There's nothing different about the candle and the lamp of the Lord. So you have 10 virgins, which is just a random amount of men, upright men, who are walking in the law of the Lord. That's what Matthew chapter 25 and 1 is talking about. Now, it tells you 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. All right, let's go back to that and read that about these virgins. 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. Right, this is the book of Matthew chapter 25 and 2. Right, Matthew 25 and 2. And 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Now, when it says 5, we know that's not talking about the literal number 5, because that number 10 wasn't literal. So how could 5 be literal? If 10 just means an indefinite amount, 5 biblically means just a portion. Some. You can use the word some, or we like to use the word portion of a whole amount. Because 10 is a whole amount, a great multitude, an indefinite amount, and 5 is just a portion of it. 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. So half of these guys are wise, half of these guys are foolish. That's what the number 5 represents, just a portion of a great amount. Like in Revelation 9, you read about the locusts tormenting men for 5 months. Right? Let's get that in Revelation 9. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 5. Precept for the number 5. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and 5. It reads, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh the man. So not to get too deep into that, but when World War III is kicking off and playing off, and you have to help these war drones and helicopters and bombs dropping on the earth, man is going to be receiving its destruction for a certain dispensation of time. Not 10 months, because if the Bible said 10 months, it'd be forever. But it can't be forever, because Yahushua has to return and put an end to these seals, right? Or an end to these plagues. That's why it's written only 5 months, if you got ears to hear. In Isaiah chapter 19, 16 on down, you read about 5 cities speaking the language of Canaan, meaning a certain amount of Israelites coming back to the Most High and keeping the laws and commandments. All right, so Matthew 25 and 3. Let's go back to that. All right, let's go back to Matthew chapter 25 and verse 3. It reads, they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Now, you can have a lamp. If you have seen old kerosene lamps, then you'll understand. If you haven't seen an old kerosene lamp, you can pause the video, you can look it up, right? Or you can kind of find out after the video. Now, ancient lamps, their power didn't rely on the flame. The power lied in the oil that kept that flame going, right? The flame didn't have no power without the source and that oil to keep that flame burning. So ancient candles, kerosene lamps, they only can burn as much oil as they have. If you don't have any oil, you have no flame, right? They go hand in hand. So you have these virgins with this flame, but no oil. What does the oil represent? The Holy Spirit and the understanding that drives you to keep the law, to keep the commandments. That's what the oil represents, right? Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Zechariah. So you have these virgins that have lamps but no oil. If you have a lamp with no oil, eventually your flame going to run out. I mean, eventually you're going to stop keeping the commandments, right? Which is your flame. You're going to stop growing your beard out. You're going to stop going to camp. This is what happens when brothers fall out the truth. They're leaking oil till their oil runs out. Once their oil runs out, their flame starts to flicker. Once their flame starts to flicker, the Most High blow it out, and they're gone. They're gone, right? And this thing happens every day. Right now, somebody's oil is leaking. Right now, somebody's flame is flickering. And right now, somebody's flame has been blown out. And they all represent the 5 foolish virgins. Right? Because what type of person would take a kerosene lamp or a candle and not take no oil with you? How can you expect your light to keep burning in this dark world? Eventually, that darkness is going to overpower that light, and you're going to be back in the world. And this happens all the time to people that go back into the Christian church. They go back into the Roman Catholic Church. They go back to being a nigga man and a nigga woman and whatever they was before they came back in the truth. They have been overtaken by the darkness due to the lack of oil. Right? Now I want to go to Zechariah 4 to go into this oil. This is the book of Zechariah, right? The 4th chapter. Right? Let's go to Zechariah chapter 4 and verse 2. Right? This is the book of Zechariah chapter 4 and verse 2. It reads, I'll start at 1. Right? And I'll pull this image up because every time I like going into this chapter, right, I like to see if I can get an image to correlate what we're actually reading. Because sometimes our people are visual learners and they kind of need something to see. All right, so Zechariah 4 and 1, to deal with this word oil. I'll get a few precepts on it. It reads, and the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and its 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof. So this is something to the effect of what Zechariah saw. Right? Zechariah, it says, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, which is your menorah, with a bowl upon the top of it. You see that golden bowl upon the top of it. And his 7 lamps thereon, which are the 7 branches of the menorah, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps. So you have this oil being produced, which is coming through Yahushua, which is the spirit of Yahushua. When you do an in-depth breakdown on this, which time will fail me to go into, this represents the two offices of Yahushua. One being his kingship office, and one being his high priest office. Played out on the earth, that's Zerubbabel and Joshua. But that represents the spirit of Yahushua, which is the spirit of truth, of the Holy Spirit, being sent into this golden bowl, and this golden bowl is keeping the 7 lamps burning. So the spirit of Yahushua keeps the flame going, which for the 7 spirits are God. All right, so you have the 7 spirits of the Most High, which are being operated by the spirit of Yahushua. So our flames are being operated by the oil, which is the spirit of Yahushua. That's the only thing that keeps your flame going, which is the oil that's in the top of this bowl been emitted from Yahushua. Right? And we've done in-depth breakdowns on Zechariah chapter 4, but we'll have to do another one. So the spirit of Yahushua, the Holy Spirit, and that understanding is keeping your flame burning. And when the Lord take that Holy Spirit away from you, or take that understanding away from you, your flame begins to flicker, and that darkness overpowers the light. All right, let's get another precept on the oil. Let's go to Proverbs. Right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 21. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and I believe I want verse 20. All right, bear with me. This is Proverbs chapter 21 and 20. It reads, there is treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. So you do have treasure, and you do have oil, but a foolish man, he will spend up his oil. How do you spend up your oil? Another way of asking that question is, how do you lose the Holy Spirit? What actions can a man take for the Most High to take away that oil from them or take away the Holy Spirit? What lifestyle do you have to be living where the Most High makes you spend up all your oil or take the Holy Spirit from you? You don't read anymore. I'm going to make it plain. You don't pray. You don't fast. You understand? You don't take notes and watch the videos. You're not keeping the commandments, right? You're not sincere. You're still reminiscing in the world. You want to do your own thing. You being proud. That's how you spin up your oil. There are many ways to spin up your oil. And Jake, you trade your oil in for sin in the ancient bartering system. You want the lust of the flesh and the pride of life. And in exchange of receiving those things, you're willing to give up your oil. When the oil is the only thing that keeps your flame burning. And without that flame, it's over. It's lights out. That's what the Lord said in John chapter 3. Hey, men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. You know? Let's get that in John chapter 3. Right? This is why men spin their oil up because they really hate the light anyway. They really don't like that light. They want to see the snares and the traps of the society and fall in love with it. Right? John chapter 3 and 19. It reads, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. And that's why men spin up their oil, because their deeds are really evil. Because deep down inside, they don't want to be in this truth. We've had brothers like that in the camp. I just want to leave camp early. Camp just started. We damn 3 hours in. You talking about leaving early. You don't want to be here. There was a brother that stopped showing up and saying, hey, look, where does it say in the Bible I have to hit the highways and byways? So that brother, hey, he lost his oil. And that oil doesn't just, now the Lord can have your oil just break through the vessel and just waste in one day. Or the Lord can have your oil slowly but surely leak out. Just slowly leak out. Next thing you know, you try to light that flame and your flame is gone. All right? Like the brother said, without oil, it's impossible to be on fire. Right? It's impossible. That's why the Lord blew out your candlestick, because you ran out of oil. Let's go back to Matthew 25. Right? Matthew, now we understand what 25 and 3 is talking about. Matthew 25 and 3. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. What does that mean in layman's terms? You got brothers that's in this truth, but they not really in this thing. Right? I just make it plain. They in this thing, but they not in it. They might pretend to kind of keep the commandments. Right? They might be in this thing. They might grow their beard out. They might stop smoking weed for a minute, but they really don't believe it. When you talk about the chariots, and they mind is still questioning it. I don't really believe that. Talk about getting beamed up. They might say Khan, but they really don't get down with that. Talk about putting Esau in captivity, but they really deal with Edomites. They're not really in this thing. They have lamps, but no oil. Verse 4, Matthew 25 and 4. But the wise, right? Matthew 25 and 4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps, so their flame can never burn out. It's like in verse 5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Meaning when Yahweh went back up in the spirit world, there was a time on the earth when we slept. What is that sleep talking about? Talking about us spiritually dying and being disconnected from our heritage. That's what that means. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra. Doesn't mean we literally took a nap if we're those virgins. Right? Let's prove that. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Right? Chapter 7 and 28. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and 28. For my son Yahweh shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. Right? So around 400 years after the time of Ezra, Yahweh will come on the scene. After these years shall my son Hamashiach die, and all men that have life. right? So the bridegroom tarried, and the world shall be turned into the old silence, like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain. And that's the same thing where the Lord said we slumbered and slept. The world turned into silence for 7 days. And then there was a certain dispensation of time when the truth wasn't manifest. That's us slumbering and sleeping, not having a knowledge of the Most High, not knowing who we are, not having our heritage. The world of Israel was turned to that old silence for 7 days. Let's get another precept on us being asleep. Let's go to Psalm chapter 22 and 15. Right? That's another good precept from Abiah and John 9 and 4. Right? We're going to get that one after this. This Psalm chapter 22 and 15. It reads, actually, I want Psalm chapter 13. It's lucky. This Psalms chapter 13 and 3. Consider and hear me, O Lord my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. What is the sleep of death? On one level, that's you falling asleep until the resurrection. But on a spiritual level, the sleep of death is you falling away from your nationality, falling away from your heritage. Spiritually sleep is equivalent to being spiritually dead. That's what the Lord said in the book of Romans 13 and 11, awake. You understand? And in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. All right? Let's go to the book, the brother John 9 and 4. That's a good precept. Right? It's the book of John chapter 9 and 4. It reads, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. So when the Lord left the world, we slept because it was nighttime spiritually for us. No more Yahweh Shah, no magnification of the power of the living God. So the bridegroom tarried, and we fell asleep waiting on the Lord to return, waiting on the second coming of Yahweh Shah, doing the work, laboring, cut off from our heritage, sent to slavery on ships, and the bridegroom is tarrying. Right? The Lord is waiting in the heavens for the elect to be sealed. Right? Let's go back to Matthew 25. Right? While the bridegroom tarried, they slumbered and slept. Reading on. Matthew 25 and 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Now, when it says midnight, that's not literally so-called 12 a.m., according to the so-called white man's calendar or his damn timeline. That's speaking about the time when we waking up to the truth, right? Because we waking up at midnight, right? We tarried for a certain period of time in the night, but now during this nighttime, the Lord is waking us up, right? The Lord is waking us up in this nighttime because we're waking up out of our sleep, right? And that's what happens. People wake up out of their sleep in the middle of the night all the time, and they got to hurry up and get ready. You know, let's get this in Ephesians chapter 1 about your eyes being opened. You shaking off that spiritual crust of Christianity out of your eyes. It's still nighttime. You look and see a big morning star, and you kind of got to trim your lamp and get ready, right? This Ephesians chapter 1 and 18. It reads, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. See that? So you have the eyes of our understanding being enlightened. When you wake up out of your sleep, it's not your literal eyes, but your spiritual eyes, which is your mind. And your mind becomes enlightened, and your eye becomes single. They become full of light, and now you're awake, and you're able to see Hamashiach Wamalak Yahweh Shah approaching soon. So let's go back to Matthew 25 and finish where we left off. Right, so the bridegroom tarried, we all slumbered and slept, right? And there was a voice saying, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him, right? And that's the servant to the Lord out there telling you Yahweh Shah is on his way, all right? Hamashiach Yahweh Shah is about to return, right? All hell is about to break loose. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps, right? So all of the virgins are arising. Arose meaning came up out the grave. The resurrection. People are waking up to the knowledge that we Israel, our soul is being restored. We only arose because we were asleep. That's what Psalms chapter 23 says. I'm not going to paraphrase it, but it says, "Thou restores my soul. Thou leadest me in the path of righteousness." Because when you restore something, you bring it back to what it was in its first state. Right? Psalms chapter 23 and let's see, 23 and 3. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of uprightness for his name's sake. And that's what the Lord is doing with the virgins. He's waking them up. He's restoring them and allowing them to trim their lamps. When you restore something, again, you may have an old phone. It's all jammed up, screen all cracked. You give it to the guy. He restores it and bring it back to its first estate. He may even make it better. But whether he makes it better or break it back to its first estate is nothing like it was when it was broken. And we were a broken people, and the Lord restored us. That's what David is talking about. Thou restores my soul. Right? Bring us back to this knowledge. You fix us and make us right and lead us to the path of uprightness. So the Lord woke up the virgins. So they arose out of the spiritual grave and they were resurrected through Yahushua, because Yahushua is the resurrection. Right? Let's see that in John chapter 11. Let's get that in John chapter 11 and 25. Right? This is the book of St. John, chapter 11 and 25. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, right? Though you were asleep, though you didn't have your nationality, though the bridegroom tarried, though you wasn't restored, right? Though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? You see that? So Yahushua told you he's the resurrection. He's the fact that we're awake in this truth. The only reason we're awake is via Yahushua. You're going to have a physical resurrection when the Lord returns. Yahushua has been given authority to judge the quick and the dead. Right? He's going to judge the living and the dead. You're going to have the resurrection of the just and the resurrection of the unjust. Tell you that in Acts 24 and 15, John chapter 5 and 26 on down, and many other precepts. Luke 14 and 14. Right? You're going to have Daniel 12 and 2. People are going to be resurrected out of the grave physically. But right now we're talking about the virgins arising spiritually. Right? So let's go back to that in Matthew 25. Matthew chapter 25 and 7. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So you're going to have brothers asking for other brothers' oil, man. You got brothers that's going to fall out this thing into some bugged out doctrine. And when all hell break loose, they're going to be asking the other brothers, hey, what does that mean? Can you break down Deuteronomy 28? What was that precept about slavery on ships? Was that Joshua or was that Matthew? Right? People are going to be asking questions. What are these? Are these fringes? Right? Are these fringes or what are they again? And you're not going to have time to answer. If you're one of the wise virgins, you're not going to answer them because you're going to be worried you're going to be looking to make it out on your own. You might have your family with you, right? You might be looking to survive, and you're not going to have time to break the whole Bible down. And they don't have the oil. You can't give a man the Holy Spirit to understand the scriptures. Only the Most High can. That's why it says, go to them that sell. Basically, go figure it out. I can't do nothing for you. How come the wise virgin didn't say, all right, give me 25 minutes and let me write a breakdown out for you? No, they're going to be looking to survive on their own in those days. We're going to be pilgrims on earth. We're not going to be walking around with big Bibles and sitting there strapped to our back. Every brother that come around, we holding camp in Jacob's trouble. We're not going to be holding camp, man. Brothers on post and people still walking by. Brother, got him at the word. It's going to be lights out on that day, spiritually. Right? So you don't want to be the foolish virgin that lost your oil, that's selling the oil. Now it's not the time to be selling oil. You got brothers selling oil for sin, selling oil for the lust of the flesh, selling their oil for pride, selling your oil for vanity. You want things in exchange for your Holy Spirit. And the Most High is going to take your Holy Spirit from you and give you those things that you really desire. So then when you really need that oil to keep your flame going and navigating through faith in these dark times coming, you're going to be caught out there. And guess what? You have to deal with it. And it is what it is. Because you have had your chance to stock up on oil. See that? Now, Jake, you got Jake talking about, I seen somebody talking about bug out bags on Twitter. Oh, man, I just bought my new so-and-so for my bug out bags. But they're not stocking up on oil. That's what you should be stocking up on. Oh, I do have my canned goods. Oh, man, I got to make sure I got my tent. I got to make sure I got a thermometer, my batteries, my hand sanitizer. But you're not stocking up on oil. You're not getting all of this food off of wisdom's table to keep you alive in the land of the living. Or I'm like the brother Bias said, it happened in the days of Noah. They were beating on the damn ark. Let me in, Noah. Teach me about this rain that's killing us. Guess what? It was too late. They didn't open that ark for nobody. The Lord shut it. Tell you the Lord shut the door. And let's get that, man. Right? Hey, the Lord shut the door, man. And it was nothing man or Noah could do about it. Even if Noah wanted to save those people, he couldn't do it, man. Right? And it is what it is. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and 16. Outside of 15. Genesis 7 and 15. And they went in into Noah, into the ark. 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Most High commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. How can we just say Noah shut him in? Hey, the Lord shut him in. So you can't open that thing, you can't close it. And once the Lord shut the door in this truth and the Lord shut the elect in, you're not going to be able to enter the house of the Lord. The Lord got the keys to that in Revelation chapter 3 and 7. And once the Lord shut this thing and shut us in, the flood is coming back. What flood? The flood of fire and brimstone. It's the book of Revelation chapter 3 and 7. Right? Revelation chapter 3 and 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth, and no man shutteth, and no man openeth. Rather, that's your mind, the house of David, who's in charge of coming to the elect, whatever door. The Lord has the keys. And the Lord's going to, like he shut Noah in, right? And people, get me in, let me in, let me in. People are going to be trying to get into the house of David. And the house of David, which is a body of men, is going to be shut off and sealed. That's why we have to seal the elect. And once they're sealed, nobody can come in. Right? And they got to deal with it, man. So let's go back to Matthew chapter 25. All right? Let's finish this parable. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, and verse 10. And while they went to buy, then they went to acquire and try to get this knowledge back. So you have the foolish virgins who were told to go buy, go get this understanding. So they're trying to get it. You're going to have brothers trying to find Bibles. When all hell breaks loose, people are going to be looking for Bibles. Where's that at? I need to find Deuteronomy. They're plucking out their beard. They fighting people. Then they're going to finally find a Bible. They might find one. Then as soon as they open it up, the chariots come. And they say, hold on, give me 5 more minutes. Lord, give me 5 more minutes. I have to find the Apocrypha. and they don't even know they're holding the Apocrypha, that they're going to be destroyed. Brothers looking, finally found Deuteronomy 28. As soon as they open it up and try to find it, it's over. That's what this is saying. Matthew chapter 25 and 10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. And the door is about to be shut. That's what the Lord says. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Because once that door is shut, it's over. Right? Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily, I say unto you, I know you not. Watch you therefore, for ye know not neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. With that, I'm going to close up, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Mamalak Yahushua. Most I willing you was edified. Shabbat Shalom. Tune in tomorrow. I'll do another, might go into some prophecy tomorrow morning. Then we'll do the Sabbath service. So most I willing you stay edified, stay in the spirit. Make sure you praying, fasting, keeping the commandments. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.